My name is Claire Matthews. I'm 28 years old, and for the past few years, I've been living in what felt like a nightmare disguised as family. I thought marriage would mean gaining new siblings, more love, and more support. Instead, what I got was a sister-in-law from hell, someone I'll call Devil Spawn, and trust me, that nickname is earned. This is the story of how she tried to ruin my life, how I almost walked away from my marriage because of her, and how, in the end, the truth finally came out, loud and clear, in front of the entire family. And believe me when I say this, you'll want to hear how it all unfolded. When I married my husband, Daniel, I knew family dynamics wouldn't always be easy. I come from a big family myself, so I understand. Siblings fight, cousins argue, people clash. But nothing could have prepared me for his brother's wife. She's 32, loud, manipulative, and has this talent for twisting every situation so that she always looks like the victim. At first, I tried to be nice. I really did. I thought, maybe she just needs time to warm up to me. But it didn't take long before she showed her true colors. The rude comments, the constant gossiping, the subtle digs about my looks, my job, even my relationship with Daniel. She thrived on making me uncomfortable, and worst of all, nobody ever called her out. I stayed quiet. I swallowed the pain, and every time Daniel would notice and tell me, "I'm on your side," always still act show. There were nights I lay awake wondering if it would just be easier to walk away than to keep fighting this silent war. Things came to a head when Devil Spawn crossed yet another line. She actually went through my closet. Yes, my closet. I didn't notice anything missing, but I couldn't shake the thought. What was she looking for? Then came the final straw. She manipulated her husband, Daniel's brother, into calling their parents and telling them I was the one causing problems. Suddenly, I was the villain. So Daniel's parents called for a family meeting. And let me tell you, I was dreading it. We all sat down in the living room of my in-laws' house. My mother-in-law started by thanking me and Daniel's younger sister, Lily, for even showing up. Neither of us wanted to be there, but we did it for the people we love. And then they walked in. Devil Spawn with her husband trailing behind her. The air immediately felt heavier. My father-in-law turned to me and said, "Claire, you go first. Tell us your side of things." I took a deep breath. My hands were shaking, but I'd been holding this inside for too long. I laid it all out. Every insult, every snide remark, every time she tried to humiliate me or turn people against me, and then I admitted something I had never said out loud before. "At one point," I whispered, voice trembling, "I thought about leaving Daniel, not because of him, but because of her, because I couldn't take it anymore." Gasps filled the room. Devil Spawn immediately tried to cut me off. "That's not true! She's lying!" But my in-laws shut her down fast. "You either stay quiet," my mother-in-law snapped, "or you leave." For the first time, I felt like someone was finally on my side. Then Lily, my sweet 24-year-old sister-in-law, the bride-to-be, spoke. She admitted she never wanted Devil Spawn in her bridal party, but only agreed because her mom thought it might bring peace. But Lily said flat out, "I don't want someone like her anywhere near my wedding. She always makes everything about herself. I can't have that on my big day." It was brutal honesty, and it felt amazing. But I wasn't done. I pulled out my phone and showed everyone years of text messages. Message after message of Devil Spawn insulting me, mocking me, even threatening me. My mom is a judge, and she always taught me, keep records of everything. And thank God I listened. The room went silent. All eyes turned to her husband, Daniel's brother. He sat there, pale and quiet, his world crumbling. Daniel looked at him and asked softly, Do you still believe your wife is the victim here? The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Finally, he stood up. "Excuse me," he muttered and walked out. Devil Spawn ran after him, screeching, "Wait, don't leave!" And just like that, the meeting was over. I sat there shaking, tears in my eyes, but for the first time in years, I felt like I could finally breathe. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't imagining things. Everyone finally saw the truth. But little did I know, that was just the beginning. Because what happened at the wedding and what came out about Devil Spawn's past would turn everything upside down. Pause. Suspenseful music cue. Lily's wedding day arrived, and it was beautiful. The venue was glowing, the decorations perfect. And Lily, she looked like a princess. The whole family was buzzing with excitement. Everyone except, of course, Devil Spawn. She wasn't in the bridal party, and you could practically see the jealousy dripping off her face. But despite her sour mood, the wedding was perfect. No drama, no interruptions. For once, it wasn't about her, and Daniel and I, we had one more surprise up our sleeves. During the reception, we pulled Lily and her new husband aside. "Listen," I said, smiling, "we know money's tight right now, and you two could only afford a local honeymoon. But we want to change that." Daniel handed them a little envelope. Inside were tickets. 2 weeks in Italy, all expenses paid. Lily gasped. She actually started crying. Her husband hugged Daniel so tight, and Lily whispered, "You don't know what this means to me." I've always dreamed of Italy. In that moment, I felt like everything, the years of pain, the drama, the cruelty, it didn't matter. Because family is about love, about lifting each other up. And that's what Daniel and I wanted to do. The wedding was magical. Everyone danced, laughed, and celebrated. For once, happiness filled the air, but the peace wouldn't last. A week later, Daniel's brother, Devil Spawn's husband, called. He asked if he could come over to talk. When he showed up, he looked broken, defeated. He sat down and said quietly, "I'm filing for divorce." My heart sank, but I can't say I was surprised. Then he told us why. He had discovered something dark, something Devil Spawn had kept hidden. Back in college, she had bullied someone so badly that the victim had tried to take their own life. I felt sick, but it didn't stop there. He told us that her own parents had cut ties with her years ago because she would make cruel, demeaning comments about the children they fostered. He said, I can't live with someone like that anymore. I can't defend her, not after everything I've learned. And just like that, the house of cards she'd built came crashing down. When she realized he had left her, Devil Spawn lost it. And of course, she blamed me. She showed up at my office, screaming at me in front of coworkers. She followed me in her car, yelling out the window. She even tried to show up at my house. It was terrifying. Daniel had to start driving me to work every day and picking me up just so I'd feel safe. I never imagined my life would come to this, being stalked and harassed by my own sister-in-law. That's when we decided enough was enough. We're now in the process of filing a restraining order against her because this has gone beyond family drama. It's harassment. It's dangerous. And I refuse to let her ruin one more day of my life. Looking back, I wish I'd spoken up sooner. I wish I'd set boundaries from the beginning instead of letting her walk all over me. But I also know this. I'm stronger now. I stood my ground. I showed the truth. And Daniel? He never once wavered. He stood by me through everything. As for my in-laws, they've apologized over and over for not stepping in sooner. And while part of me still wishes they had, I know they're trying now. And that means something. Family is complicated. It's messy, but it should never be cruel. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. People will show you who they are. And when they do, believe them, because sometimes the only way to protect your peace is to cut out the poison. So was I wrong for standing my ground, for finally saying, like, enough is enough? I'll let you decide, but one thing's for sure. Karma has a way of finding people like her.